Hi everybody, this is Diana Palm. Does time heal? Today we're going to be talking about this and what actually happens to you over time and why time actually doesn't heal. I'm going to tell you what you can actually do to move through your pain, your heartbreak, and your grief so that you can actually take advantage of your time and do the healing necessary to get you to that next level of life and love. All heartbreaks are different. However, there are some elements that are the same and similar between every single heartbreak that you experience. Now, I talk a lot about grief. There are two main causes of grief. One is actually from the death of a close loved one. The second is the ending or severing of a very close or significant relationship, which could include breakups or divorce. In both of these circumstances, there is a severing of a connection, which translates into an ending of the energy of love. The difference is that the energy connecting you to your loved one has ended. Now, in the case of a loved one who passed, I help people reconnect to that energy so that they can actually move on and live a meaningful life, knowing that their loved one is still around them, and also knowing that their loved one in heaven wants them to be happy, wants them to move forward, wants them to heal their heart and embrace new love. When I'm working with grief from a broken heart that came from breakup or divorce or a severing of a significant relationship, I work with that differently because the energy of grief is stored slightly different in the body. When I'm working with that type of heartache, there are specific spiritual steps to help heal the heart, relieve the pain and suffering, in order to create enough space to invite in new love. If you want some tips on how you can do this, get your pen and paper out right now, because I'm going to share some of the processes that I share with my individual clients when they come to me to work through their spiritual grief healing program. First of all, when it comes to healing grief and a broken heart, you first want to express the pain and suffering, which means let those emotions out. If you feel it, let it come out, express it, do not shove it down. When people shove their emotions down, it creates a lot of resistance in their body and a lot of physical ailments, including disease. So the first thing is, if you're feeling upset, if you're feeling sorrowful, if you're mourning the loss of your loved one, please cry it out. Grief comes in cycles. One day you may feel fine and balanced and happy, and the next day hear a song on the radio or suddenly have a memory that brings you to tears. That's okay, and that's totally normal. It doesn't mean you're depressed if you're grieving and you experience cycles of emotions, but you do want to move through the experience because grief is a natural process that takes us forward through it. Where I see people getting stuck in any type of grief scenario, it's when they've only gone one or two steps in and gotten stuck. And this is how grief gets lodged in the body. Grief affects your heart and lungs. I often see people that have been grieving for 20 years that take such shallow breaths because they're afraid to breathe in the breath of life. They're afraid to truly be big and bold and loving and happy again. So grief restricts breath and it impacts the health of the lungs, as well as the heart's ability to love, to feel safe, and to truly be happy. There's no time limit to get through grief. You just want to make sure that you continue to move through the cycles of grief. After you've expressed your emotions, you've cried it out, and you get to a place of feeling like you can take a next step forward, then I would say to process the ending of the relationship. Most people make the mistake of running out and trying to replace that person with somebody else. If it's a death scenario, maybe somebody gets involved with somebody else, or they put all their love and attention on a pet, a friend, a child, or some other person in their life to try to evoke the same kind of energy that they had with the person that departed. Now, you can be loved and supported by all your loved ones, but it's important not to create false bonds with people to replace the person that passed. It's important that you move through this process by really honoring that that person that died is still with you. There's no need to replace them or to fill that space. They are still with you, and they want to see you come to full healing. Now, in either case of death, divorce, or breakup, you're still going to have a severing feeling in your life. You're still going to feel a missing energy because your life will change. There will be openings in your daily routine that are not filled with the person that you're used to being with. That could be having your coffee together in the morning, going shopping, going out to dinner, going out dancing, or sharing friends or holidays together. These are specific times where we really miss that person that is not in our life anymore. I always suggest that when you've had a big life change, try to shake up the rest of your life a little bit as well. Some people would say keep it all the same, but in the keep it the same scenario, everything is the same except that missing person. So having an ending allows you to be a little freer in your routine, to allow the rest of your life to adjust to your new situation. And this actually helps you to move forward freer and easier because you're being more flexible with a lot of things in your life instead of the one scenario where that one person is missing. When you do something new, you have great opportunities to kind of mix up the energy, to show up differently, and to not be in an energy of missing. Allow yourself that flexibility to change plans, to change holidays, to change where you go from day to day, where you have your coffee. Allow there to be other subtle changes throughout your daily routine. The next thing I want you to do is write down the lessons that you learned from this person. It could be the person that departed or the person that left your life through divorce or breakup. Every single relationship serves us. Every individual that comes into our life teaches us many lessons. And that's what your soul came here to learn. So be sure to write down all the lessons that you learned from that person. Now, if there are unfinished or unresolved energies between the two of you, it's important for you to receive the healing that you need around that. If it's a loved one that passed, you can actually speak out loud to them and they can hear you. You can say you're sorry. You can express your point to them. Talk to them as if they're really here, because in the spirit world, they really are. They're just a slight vibration away from where you are. So they can hear you and will often interact with you by giving you more signs and symbols to confirm that they heard what you said to them. You'll often get the signs and symbols within a few minutes or hours. If you were not able to have a sacred ending through breakup and divorce, and it was raw and arguing with a lot of toxic energy, this may not be possible for you to have your closure with that individual. If you were able to have a sacred ending with your relationship or marriage, then chances are you'll be able to have enough conversation to both get your closure and healing and to resolve any unfinished business. But many relationships actually end with a lot of very raw emotions, a lot of very painful feelings, resentment, anger, betrayal, deceit, and all kinds of things that most people are not emotionally savvy enough to navigate through. If that's the case, give yourself a break. You do not have to have conversation with that individual. You can actually write it down on a piece of paper, write down your side, and express everything that you want to say. Get it all out. Write the lessons you learned from that person, and then anything that was unresolved that you still need to free yourself from. And this is the area that you'll want to really concentrate on, because as we harbor resentment or letdowns, disappointment, and all of those feelings that come through a difficult relationship or ending, that actually gets stuck in the body as well. And that can prevent you from loving again. These energies build walls around the heart and make you protect so strong that you can't even connect to a new individual. It blocks your ability to love yourself. It blocks your ability to love life. It blocks your ability to heal. Going through this process of healing your grief will allow you to purge everything that you hold in your heart so that your heart can heal and fill up with the energy of love again. After you've gone through an emptying process, you become more neutral. And at this point, you want to start filling it up. So as you fill up, that will be things that you do to nurture yourself. Nurturing yourself through relaxing baths, walks in nature, going to events that you always dreamed of going to. Maybe it's worldwide travel. Maybe it's a special restaurant. Maybe it's a ball game in a particular stadium or something that gets you fired up and excited. It could be a life change, like changing a career or creating a big project that you can work on that would really pull your focus into creating something beautiful and new in the world. It's important in that process to first nurture by doing the small things and then manifesting out in front of you large things, because that actually helps you be motivated to stay here and to contribute to the world. It helps you to find meaning and purpose for being alive. It also excites you. It fills you with the fire and excitement and enthusiasm for being here. And we all know that that creates a high love vibration. That is the best place to be in to attract someone new to love. If you are currently going through the death process with a loved one, or you long to connect with a loved one who passed, be sure you get my book, Death and the Afterlife, which will help you understand the entire death process, as well as provide you with the steps to take to reestablish your connection with your loved one in heaven. And if you need help healing your heart from any grief you carry, from death, from divorce, or difficult breakups, be sure you check out my spiritual grief healing program at www.dianapalm.com. I would love to help you heal your heart spiritually, to release all these energies, to walk you through the process, reprogram your subconscious mind for love and expansion and survival of your loved one that passed. There are so many things that we do during the 9-week grief healing program that it will absolutely transform your life and heal your heart. I would love to know where you are in your healing process, if you've been through a difficult breakup or divorce, or if you recently lost a loved one. Let me know how you've been moving through the grief process, and share anything that has helped you to move forward. And if you like this video, be sure to give me a like down below, subscribe, and share it with a friend who may need to heal their heart, who may be suffering with grief right now. Thank you so much for being here, everyone. I can't wait to see you in the next video.